Isn't it a shame that America's supposed to be the greatest country in the world, but we only lead the world in one thing, which is citizens incarcerated per capita? It's also a shame that as American citizens, if we get in some trouble, that we have to go through a broken system that may drive us farther away from our family or send us down a downward spiral, could cause us to lose everything, your job, your family, your house, anything that you're going for you, and that's prison. In America, there's approximately 2.3 million Americans locked up. That's not including the 3.8 million people that are on probation and 820,000 people that are on parole. Now, probation and parole, they're basically prison in society, I guess you could say. You have a curfew, you can be told where you can and can't go, you can't leave your state, you have to be home by a certain time, you get drug tested. Some people are even on an ankle monitor and can't leave their own home for years on parole and probation. And those are alternatives to prison, but on parole or probation, if you have one small slip up, you will land right in prison, which is a shame. It's a shame. Prison is not the way, man. It's so inhumane when you get to prison. There's so much staph infection in prisons. Actually, my dad was in prison, and he just told me about how so many people were getting staph infection, and it was just spreading throughout the whole prison. And also when one person gets diarrhea or something like that, he just said that it spread like wildfire, basically like they have floors, and he was saying that the whole floor would get whatever it may be, like the staph infection or the diarrhea, the whole floor would be infected by it. And also my dad was affected by it because when I was born, my dad was in prison. So that's just an example right there of how prison is not good, because my dad missed one of the greatest moments, you know what I'm saying, of his life, I guess, his first son being born. So that just goes to show you right there that it can mess families up, break families up. Luckily, my dad got out and got his stuff together. But nowadays, like in 2016, that's not happening. 2016, people are getting out. They have nothing. There's no prison reform programs. There's no programs that they have to help people who just got out of prison to get a job and transvert back to society. That's not happening nowadays, and I think that does need to happen. And it's a shame that the prison retention rate is 76.6% in the United States, which means that if once you get out of prison, you have a 76.6% chance of returning within the next 5 years. And that may be because you lost your job and you have to go to the streets, or get caught doing something, or get out and do the same thing that you were doing to get in because you have nothing else to do. It's just a shame that as Americans that we have to go through this, and that it doesn't work. People are going back to prison. People are going back to jail. People are being taken to prison and being taken away from their families, being taken away from opportunity. People may have a house that they're paying for. They go to prison. Now they're backed up on their payments. They can't pay their payments. They lose their house. There's many things like that. People are affected. Many fathers are taken out of the household, and mothers left to fend for themselves. And then that leaves the son to go out in the street, start selling drugs, and get in prison too. It's just like a whole cycle, and it's a shame. We need to stop that. Prison is not the way. We need to find some reform programs and some community service programs to get people out of prisons. That's not the way, because that's breaking America apart. Prison is just has America cut in half, man. It's horrible. But all my sites, they came from scholarly articles and the Public Welfare Foundation, the prisonpolicy.org, also the Bureau of Justice Statistics.